Hello, my name is Craftsman, and today we're taking a look at how I made my own action figure. So to start off with the origin of this figure, this guy was created in I think 3 a.m. This guy was just conceived out of boredom. We had Doodle Scrib over to, do the Jackbox stream and to also record the podcast, and yeah, that's how this guy was created. We just had some time to kill and we decided to, make it productive, and we decided to make our own action figure. This guy has a G.I. Joe build, as you can see here. I actually used some parts of two G.I. Joe action figures. I used Torpedo's head, body, just his upper torso with the both arms, and I used Wild Bill's crotch and lower legs. And this construction works pretty nice. It can swivel at the head, it can do a 360, it can also have a O-ring type waist at the middle, and it can also kick out and just kind of pivot. But enough about the origin of this figure. I'll give you the reason why most of you probably clicked on this video. How did I make it? So first off, I took a basic G.I. Joe figure. I took both of these figures and actually took them apart like so. Like this sci-fi right here. And they actually have a screw on the back, and you can unscrew it with a small size screwdriver. And then what I basically did was I turned those body pieces into molds. Like here's the mold for the body, which Doodle Scrib did, and this is the, oh my gosh. And oh fucking shit, bro. Oh my god. Well, and here's the mold for the arm. And what I basically did was, as you can see in this footage here, I wrapped around the pieces, in this case the Masked Thunderhawk seatbelt, I wrapped it around in the Oyumaru, or blue stuff as they call it, and I just wrapped it around, and then it made a piece here, which this piece right here is an arm which Doodle Scrib made. It didn't exactly turn out the best way I expected it to. And here's another arm that I showed you before. The problem with this arm is that it didn't work well with the body, and it just scraped up too much, but it makes for a good example. And to make the arms, I took Milliput, which is just an epoxy putty. You can get it for pretty cheap. They do not sell it in the US, I believe, but you can get it via eBay. I got this for cheap. And what I basically did was just filled each side of the mold with Milliput. Like, you have to make sure that both molds have about the same size of increment. Make sure that one side isn't too flat, like this one. Make sure they both have like an equal amount of increment. Put like some holes on the beginning. Put some holes like right around so that the molds stick. You have the bottom of your arm here, and then what you could basically do is just drape the top part, drape some more blue stuff over this so it creates a sort of 3D type of thing. And as I said before, fill in the Milliput and you should get an arm. And listen up, kids, because this is the problem that I found with these Joe figures. Don't do a straight arm. Don't make the peg. Don't mold the peg with completely straight like this. Here, I'll show you with this sci-fi arm. You can sort of bend the shoulder. Don't make it completely straight. Make it like at an angle so that you can actually fit it, because it tends to interfere with the actual piece. Like, see right there, it doesn't really want to move. So I had to remold that the next day without Doodle's help. But eventually all the parts were made and I just had to assemble them. For the assembly, I suggest you watch Toy Polloy's video. The G.I. Joe assembly portion is very, very easy. You just kind of, kind of take the torso, put the arms on, like so, put the arms on, snap it together, make sure that the crotch piece is over the legs. And for the O-ring, I just used, since the O-ring didn't really work well with the milliput, you kind of just have to, I draped it over, like I took a normal sized rubber band, I draped it over where the O-ring would go, I cut these two off, I stretched it out, and made it thread through the crotch. Doodle actually made the legs kind of like halved off, so I just put the rubber band would be here, and then I stretched the rubber band and then put it in with some super glue and put some milliput over it, so now it looks like a normal leg and it functions like a normal leg and O-ring. And I put the head and all that, and that's how I turned up with this figure. And as for the cape, I used Toy Polloi tutorial on how to make a Jedi Knight Luke cape, and I kind of enlarged it because this figure was kind of bigger, unintentionally of course, and yeah, I made the cape and now it fits really well over my figure. This guy, if you didn't know, was supposed to represent the little redacted person, my little icon in the actual BTC canon, I guess you would say. So yeah, this guy's my figure, and you may notice he doesn't have the white painted eyes or anything, but that's actually something I'm gonna do right now. So what I'm gonna do first is that I'm gonna make it possible to seal off my little guy's cloak by using some of these sticky things like Velcro, so that I can freely open it and close it. So I'm peeling it off first, little pads right there. And I shall put the sticky one onto the front. And I can always remove it if I want to. And I put it, and there we go. He can finally now close, and now it's time to add on to the eyes. So what I'm gonna do is take some paint, some white paint, and I'm gonna look at the specific eye holes for Torpedo. As you can see, they are like right there, and I'm currently taking the paint off, and yeah, I'm gonna use some of the paint right here. I'm gonna use a pencil actually, because I think that provides more precision than a actual, you know, painter thing, and a brush. So there we go. There. And now, time for the other eye. I can actually get it to position right. There we go. Just gotta wipe this off. And there we go, there's a little guy. Just let me wipe off the excess. Well, and that's how I made my figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of tutorial thing. I hope it served useful to you, and I hope you start making G.I. Joe styled figures. I hope that this tutorial helped at least somewhat. That's the end of this video. Like, comment, share, do all the things that you gotta do, and I'll see you guys in the next video.